So, it's been about 2 weeks since I decided to start my spiritual journey after being inspired by everything I've learned thus far about spirituality from working at my new job. And let me tell you, a lot has happened in the past 2 weeks. So, in today's video, I will be catching you guys up to date on how it's been going and what I've been doing. So, like I told you guys in my last video, I decided that I'm going to start off my journey with meditating. And I decided I was going to do a meditation every day for at least 5 to 10 minutes as a start. And I chose meditation because it not only helps to relax and calm your mind, but it also helps you to connect with yourself and become more aware of your body, your thoughts, your emotions, and your environment. Overall, it just helps you to be more present. And after doing that for about a week, I realized that I really liked the way it made me feel. And I remembered the conversation I had with a meditation instructor from my job because I had to interview her for work and hear about how she started meditation and her story. And I remember her telling me about the meditation classes that they offer there. And ever since then, I decided I wanted to go, but I've been putting it off. But I was committed now. I'm also in the stage where I'm wanting to be around more like-minded people, be around people who are working on themselves and enjoy the same things as I do, and just also, just even learning more from different people. So I decided, why not give this meditation class a try? I decided to just try the virtual first, just because it's the most convenient. I could do it from home. It's an hour long, but in the beginning of the class, we kind of like do a discussion where we talk about what things we want to work on, like why we're meditating, and we learn a lot of things about how to be self-aware, how to calm your mind, and you learn about yourself and your body, your mind. And then we kind of like just do like a discussion for the first half of the class, and then the last half, that's when we start the meditation practice, and it's just a great balance. So, meditation has been going so amazing. I have a lot of footage for you guys, a lot of things I've been like documenting through my spiritual journey, for the past couple weeks. But I don't want this to be a super long video, so I'm gonna try to cut it up as smoothly as possible. So I'll be the narrator today. So in my previous video where I initially told you I was starting my spiritual journey, I knew I was gonna receive a lot of interesting comments. I feel like there's a lot of misconceptions about spirituality. A lot of people think spirituality is one way when it's really like not, and a lot of people see like spiritual things in like movies or just certain things like that, and there's a lot of just opinions and misconceptions and stuff about spirituality. So I'm just grateful to work in a space where I can learn more and actually talk to people who have been on their spiritual journeys and have way more experience than I do. So I asked the owner of the Open Mind Center, which is the place where I work, if I can ask her a few questions about spirituality. I had to call her over the phone, but it's still very valuable information. I learned a lot myself, so I can just imagine how valuable it's going to be for you guys as well. I just wanted some guidance on like spirituality for beginners, to be honest. Like, where do you start? Like, if you could talk to yourself when you were starting your spiritual journey, what advice would you give yourself? That's basically what I wanted to know. Get your notes out because it's good. How does one start or begin their spiritual journey, and is it different for everyone?
Yes, it's going to be unique to each person. It usually is influenced by where they are in their lives, what they're seeking, whether or not they're actively in crisis mode, that sort of thing. However, typically speaking, starting a spiritual journey involves identifying the things in your life that aren't working for you, reconnecting with parts of yourself that have been neglected or hidden, learning about the spiritual world and spiritual practices beyond that which most people are taught growing up, and then determining how what you've learned, the knowledge you've gained and the tools you've learned about can be utilized for your own growth and healing. Some of the first things you try could be doing research and learning about spiritual practices. And when I say research, I'm talking about reading books, watching spiritual leaders, as they give various discussions, talking to other people that have been down that path and are embarking on their own journey. You should be actively pursuing new information.
Okay. Can you still be religious and spiritual?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I would say that, I'm going to say all of the people that work on, at the center have a religious background. That's maybe not a fair statement, but regardless of the center or not, like I'm Christian and I'm spiritual. The two things are not mutually exclusive. My spirituality and the things I've learned expand upon the things I've learned through conventional religion. It doesn't take away from it. And that's a misconception I think a lot of people have.
Yes, definitely.
Just like I believe there's a God, a higher power that I pray to, I also believe that there are other spiritual beings that are there to help us, let's say, for example.
If someone is interested in spirituality but is skeptical, what should they do?
Well, for me, I think the first thing to do, and we talked about this a little bit before in one of the prior questions, is to start doing some research. Start learning about spiritual practices, things that they haven't learned before based on their particular background. And they don't have to go into it with any sense of, I have to believe this. They literally can do the research, the reading, the whatever, purely from a sense of, let me see what this is all about and what other people are talking about, right? And if it doesn't resonate with them, it's literally just information they learned along the way. If it does resonate with them, however, they can start incorporating it into their lives. The one thing I would say is that if someone is really interested in learning or starting a spiritual journey, really, it's oftentimes it's their soul kind of calling them to do that, and they really shouldn't let anyone else's skepticism stop them. Years ago, I'm going to say 20 years ago, and my timing may not be correct or accurate, but there was a time when if you had said to someone that I'm practicing yoga or meditating, they were like, "Oh, that's crazy, that's woo-woo."
Oh yeah,
right?
True.
And now, however many years later, it's common practice. And people have learned that not only is it beneficial from a spiritual perspective, but there's real empirical data to show it's beneficial from a health perspective, from a wellness perspective. So you can't let someone else's belief system limit you from exploring and developing your own.
And lastly, why do you feel that spirituality is important for everyone to, I guess, learn about or practice?
I think without it, a lot of people find themselves in a pattern, for lack of a better word, of living a life that's not fulfilling, that's filled with stress or fear, anxiety, depression, sadness. I think spirituality is a really great tool, or becoming a more spiritual person is a really great tool to help you identify the things within you that are causing you any level of discord, that maybe things you need to release, things you need to grow from. I think one of the key things, quite frankly, if you want to be a successful person in life, is not just focusing on external success. I want to make $1 million sort of thing. It's also focusing on what's going on inside you, because you can be ultra rich and be the most unhappy person there is, or you can have very little money and be extremely happy and content in your life. And if you really want to live a life where you're experiencing joy and peace and abundance and all the things people really want, you have to do that inner work. And spirituality is a really good tool to use. And when I say spirituality, what I mean is I'm using it as an umbrella term, right? Whether it's the teachings, the philosophies, the practical tools that they recommend. It's a really good place to start to really heal what's in the inside so it can match the wonderful things you're trying to manifest on the outside.
So would you say that soul coaching will be beneficial to a lot of people?
Absolutely.
Okay.
And let me just preface this by saying different people interpret soul coaching differently. For me, one of the reasons why it's something we offer from the center is that because I spent many years studying holistic practices, metaphysical practices, learning about different religions and spiritual beliefs and that sort of thing. I recognize that it's a tremendous amount of information for people to try to consume or to determine what's best for them out of the plethora of information out there. And so what I do is I kind of summarize based on everything I've learned what I think would be right for a particular person based on what they're going through. So there's a certain level of teaching and learning that you're going to get through the session, but then it also then speaks to how do I apply these principles and practices for me in my own life without having to put in a tremendous amount of time trying to figure this out and research it on my own. And honestly, a lot of people who do soul coaching are going to give you work to do. They're going to give you homework out of it to do on your own anyway. So it doesn't circumvent you doing work. It's just helping to maybe focus you in the right direction a little bit faster.
So, wasn't that just amazing? I was like, thank you so much. I was so grateful for her for even taking the time out to answer all those questions for me and let me film it and everything like that. So I hope it was very helpful for you guys. And after that, I was just thinking, and I really realized that I value that one-to-one conversation. I'm very much an information person. The soul coaching really stood out to me, just like having a life coach, but someone who mixes in spirituality. I decided that that would be a great next step for me personally, because it would just be nice to have someone to talk to and them to guide me. That's what I mean, like more of that guidance. Because I am an overthinker and I'm indecisive, and I'm still like I'm figuring out myself, but I'm also like still like what I don't know. I value advice and guidance, I guess. So and like having that one-to-one connection and being able to vent about my life and get like guided towards different things. So I decided to book a life coaching session with her, Charmaine, because she actually does life coaching as well. She just does it over the phone now, but there's also we have a lot of other practitioners that you can do virtual life coaching. There's a lot of virtual services, which this is why I say this would be so good, not only for me to gain, but I definitely want to just share with everyone. Like I already have been telling my family, my boyfriend. I'm been trying to get everybody in on this because it's just so valuable, and you can there's only like pros to this. Learning how to better yourself, and also there's a lot of things going on in the world, with just mental health, and I just feel like if people knew more about spirituality and like soul coaching and just different things that spirituality has to offer, or had a center like the Open Mind Center to go to, the mental health of people would just be so much better. So that's what I decided to do next, and that's what I'll be showing you. So yeah, I'll just include the short clip that I have of that session right now. Hello.
Hi there.
Hi.
Is now good, or you need a couple more minutes?
Now it's good. We started off with like just giving me kind of like the basics on spirituality. She recommended, which I told you guys in my last video, she recommended a book called Many Lives, Many Matters that would be good for me and anybody who's starting their spiritual journey, who may still be a little more skeptical about spirituality and how it really works, and if it's really, like real, I guess. I told you guys I read it, and I was like once again brought to tears while just listening to it. I listened to the audio version of it. Like I explained in my voiceover, gosh, I can't wait to my next session already. I'm already like, I need to hurry up and get that scheduled. I'm like I said, I'm just gonna continue taking you guys through it because it was just wow, like wow, like the thought. I'm not even kidding. Like just thinking about all this information and like all these things, I'm just like, it makes me want to cry because it's just like, it's just. It's so amazing. It's so amazing. It's just crazy how people don't know about this. That's what's crazy about it. People who are struggling like me with anxiety, and people who are struggling with depression, or people who are struggling with lack of like self-love. Oh, gosh. Soul coaching and energy healing is, oh gosh, would be just such a great thing for so many people if they were open to learning more about it. And I know, like I said, when I first went into it, it sounds really weird, and it sounds like, what is that? Like weird stuff. It sounds, like I said, because you only see like stuff about spirituality or people being spiritual through like movies or horror shows, or just it's like misconception when it's really like not like that at all. So anyways, but it's expanding more. I feel like spirituality is expanding, so people are realizing. So yeah, anyways, I did my life coaching, but I didn't tell you guys that she also talked about energy healing, and I wanted to learn more. And so after that, we kind of talked a little bit, and she advised energy healing as well. So soul coaching and energy healing was like my, like, okay, those are the next things I want to get into. So right after I finished, talking with her and everything, I decided that I was going to book a session with an energy healing session that same day. Because I'm just like, I just want to try everything, okay? Like I said, also, I'm the marketer there, so I'm like trying to learn more about certain things, and that's how I really went into it. Just like wanting to learn more so I can I can advertise it better, because you got to know about the product and the services so you can advertise. But little did I know it was going to actually change my life and actually be super valuable and helpful for me. So I'm like, yeah, sure, I'll do the energy healing session. And yeah, that was another like crazy experience that I was not able to include in this video, because that needs to be a whole video on its own. So I had to cut that part out because this video would have been way too long. So that's what I meant by this video is kind of like, I had to narrate it so it's not, it makes sense, it flows better. So anyways, this is where I'm gonna end right now. I hope all of this makes sense. In the next video, I will show you guys how the energy session went. I'll show you like how it felt before, and then I'll show you guys what it looks like. Take you guys into it. You'll meet the practitioners, one of the practitioners who does the energy healing. I'll explain more what energy healing is, and you'll get a lot of information on that and what it helps and how does it work and blah blah blah. And then I'll tell you guys my experience after, and if it helped, and all the juicy stuff. So if you watched until the end, let me know by leaving a heart, or if you have any questions or comments about anything, let me know. Spirituality, what you learned, what you want to know more about, let me know in the comment section.